Merry Christmas! Thank you for lending an ear to The Voice of the Times for Christmas Day, December 25, 2021. For today's editorial, A Christmas to Remember. It may not be the Christmas we hoped for, and tragically for too many of us, it is not the Christmas we deserve, but it is one we should long remember. The most remarkable thing about this Christmas celebration is that it actually resembles one in some parts of the country. Shoppers are in the malls, travelers heading home for the holidays fill the bus terminals, and, somewhat frustratingly, Metro Manila's roads, which have come to resemble their pre-pandemic state. Some offices have held staff Christmas parties this year. Some have not, still cautious about the risk from COVID-19, or perhaps still recovering from the heavy economic blow caused by the pandemic. But at least the option does not seem as dangerous as it did a year ago. Of course, we cannot go very far in exploring our thoughts on the holiday without commiserating with our fellow Filipinos who have once again had it taken away from them, not by the pandemic this time, but by the cruel timing of Typhoon Odette. Substantial assistance is now reaching the affected regions, but it cannot arrive fast enough, and those of us who are not directly impacted by the devastating storm should count our blessings and share them if we are able. We can wish for so many things this Christmas, but the first on that list must be that those in need are fed, sheltered, and given every available assistance to rebuild their lives and livelihoods. The past 2 years have been difficult. Many of us have lost friends and loved ones, and everyone has had his or her own normal life affected in some way by the pandemic. For some, daily life and livelihoods have been completely upended. Yet there is a sense of hope, even despite the large-scale calamity of Typhoon Odette. The collective mood of the country is that we have withstood the worst the coronavirus pandemic could throw at us. We have not been unscathed, and it is not over yet. But compared to a year ago, we are more certain now that we are stronger every day and will outlast this damn pestilence. Is this optimism misplaced? After all, while we enjoy a Christmas holiday here, the news from other places is still almost as dire as it was last year. New waves of infections from the Omicron variant of the coronavirus have forced numerous countries to return to lockdowns and other pandemic restrictions that had been lifted months ago. While it does not appear that Omicron is as dangerous as initially feared, scientists are not yet certain of that. At the very least, it is a significant disruption to the world's collective recovery. For us here in the Philippines, however, the Omicron threat is a cause for concern and attention rather than worry and fear. It may make our optimism cautious, and probably should, but it need not take it from us. So long as the lessons and good practices we have learned throughout the past 2 years are not forgotten, we can avoid the same setbacks troubling the rest of the world. Our government officials should remain vigilant and steadfast in monitoring the pandemic and carrying out the vaccination campaign. The rest of us should continue to do our part by observing safety practices. Every day we do this responsibly, we move a little closer to the end of the pandemic, the point at which COVID-19, if it is not something that will disappear, will at least be something that can be managed without undue disruption. Last year at this time, neither vaccines nor effective medicines to treat COVID-19 were available to us. Now they are. That is remarkable progress, and encourages us to hope that in a year hence, we might just be able to finally start thinking of the pandemic as a part of history rather than current events. And that's the editorial for Saturday, December 25, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to The Voice of the Times.